99.3 Nigeria info. Good morning to you. Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to the second part of Dailies today. We're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. So feel free to join the viewers on those platforms if you can. But if you're on the road, just stay tuned here and we'll keep you company with the stories that we go for you. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
And yes, the person sitting next to Sheriff is Jimi. So I'm sure you're all surprised the way I'm dressed. I'm tired of being intimidated with cap and everything. So I go hire one cap from my friend. Yeah, go hire one cap. So yeah, so
you can see him on Facebook and on YouTube.
You can see him on YouTube. What is it?
It's okay. It's okay.
I will not be intimidated. Anyway, morning everybody. Morning. Yeah,
right, let's get going. Let's start with the story here on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. Davido 2024. Victoria stands still as Davido Choma exchange marital vows.
Yeah, we're starting on a very happy note, and I was so proud of this gentleman and his wife. You know, so proud. You see, there's something called good breeding, and it's always you can see in the way things are done. Thanks to the EFCC, it didn't go haywire because only God knows how many dollars would have rained yesterday. So he kept it civil and he kept it nice and clean, and I was so happy for this for Davido. In all honesty, if you listen to the love story of him and his wife, you will feel, I almost shed a tear for them. Apparently, they met at a public event, and despite breakup rumors, Chioma continued to appear in his video. Then they had a son, and they tragically lost that son. I remember this must have been about 2-3 years ago, and she lost that son in a home accident. I think a swimming pool accident or something. Right. Yeah. Okay, so she got pregnant again, and then they now have a set of twins, and so I mean, hey, I'm glad that the greatest honor you can do to any woman, the greatest honor you can give a woman, is to marry her, especially under these circumstances. I remember even Fela, when he was asked why he married his 27 wives, it was after his house was burnt and everything, and he said he just looked at his ladies then and said to myself, these people have suffered. The only thing I can do is to marry them. And till as we speak today, some of them they bear the Kuti name, and you know what that means. I don't need to go too far on that. So I was quite happy. Young people, you need to learn a lesson from what I saw yesterday. Apparently, Davido's his best friend, I'm not talking of best man, but his main person yesterday is not even of the same origin as him. Is Obi, not Obi, what's the name of that one?
Cubana Chief Priest.
Cubana Chief Priest. He was with him all the time, directing this and directing that, giving him the drink to drink and so on and so forth. This is how people live. Don't spend your time. Don't fall victim of what some of these Jagwajantis politicians they sell to you. Igbo people don't like Yoruba people. Yoruba people. Look at the mix of culture yesterday. It was a sight to behold. It was a sight to behold. Well, if you listen to these people, if you listen to these politicians, you will have yourself to blame. And I hope everybody learned a lesson. It was well organized. From about 10 o'clock when I was going out of Victoria Land, there were LASMA, there was this, there was that. Of course, okay, later on, the usual traffic came, but it was well organized, and it was a nice event. And of course, Davido's uncle. I envy the love between Davido and his uncle. You can't beat it. I envy the love. It just makes me remember my own late uncle, Captain Smart Ali, terrible Smart Ali, undefeated champion of West Africa. If you check your books. And of course, there were dignitaries there. I mean, if you want to do a roll call, we won't leave this place till the program is over. But congratulations to them. And I think it's a lesson that even if you're in entertainment and so on and so forth, you must exhibit good breeding. I was touched when I saw the video of him talking to his in-laws. I'm thinking of one or two people musicians like him. the way they would have carried themselves yesterday. So, there we go. Good was a good outing, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself with the little clips that I saw.
Right, indeed. Let's go take this story.
It did do me like saying I go marry again.
Well, it's possible.
Nothing is
Chebi.
impossible. Nothing is impossible. I was telling somebody yesterday, so I said, Pekin, they hungry me. I said, there could be a stray bullet, Sheriff.
How can Pekin
There could be
hungry in a man? It's only women that Pekin are hungry.
There could be a stray bullet. You don't know. A child that is coming to this world and is coming through you, if it has been written in the books, will come. So you better be careful.
Which book? At what age? I'm just asking. No, I'm not saying that this thing. No, that it can't happen. No.
No. What do you mean? Are you trying to insinuate now that I'm a dead man walking?
I am not talking about you. I'm just saying which book did they write?
If it is written in the book of life that this Pekin that is coming is going to go through Sheriff, is going to be a Quadry.
Which Pekin again?
If they say there's a spirit of a boy who is going to be president, I say he's a Quadry.
Who is going to be president? Who is going to be president, Abby?
The boy, yes. Yeah, okay. You won't mind that.
All right, that's fine. That's what I heard. That's fine. I'm good. Let's go to the Guardian newspaper. Graft concerns as EFCC shelves Akpabio, Adamu Autumn, others files.
So let me tell you what this headline means. What this headline means is that the EFCC had been investigating certain persons, and all of a sudden we don't hear about these investigations anymore. This is according to the Guardian. Okay, and they are now asking questions that what is happening to the cases. It says that for over 8 years, the EFCC opened investigations into alleged diversion of funds by present and past government officials, and they have failed to either conclude or update Nigerians on the state of their investigations. Meanwhile, data obtained from by the Guardian from the Probe Monitor portal developed by the Center for Fiscal Transparency and Public Integrity revealed many cases against prominent Nigerians are in limbo. The first name that props up, of course, is that of Akpabio, former governor of Akwa Ibom State and the current president Senate, initiated by EFCC in 2015 over alleged diversion of 108.1 billion. 100. So whether you continue to investigate him or not, it means that there is a 1.8.1 billion of Akwa Ibom money that is in limbo. Yes, that's the implication. It's somewhere that cannot be found, just said. Another abandoned probe is that of Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Adamu for allegedly misappropriating, this one is even small, 15 billion. Akpabio is 108 billion. This one is Akpabio alongside 18 others, and that of former governor of Benue State, Samuel Autumn, and House of Assembly members for alleged diversion of 23.08 billion. Another popular case the EFCC failed to act is the probe of over 200 billion contract approved under Abdulaziz Yari's regime as Zamfara State Governor. This probe has lasted 1,643 days. A no-go front, a no-go back.
They put that there?
No, I added that one. Yes. Also, the EFCC commenced a probe of alleged diversion of over 3 billion meant for Operation Light Quara, project by the immediately past governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed. Cases involve former governor of Jigawa State, Lamido, and his sons over alleged 1.35 billion fraud, amongst others, are still gathering dust on EFCC. And the executive director of the center, Center for Anti-whatever, he says that abandoning the probes and leaving the public in the dark on their progress gives the impression that their actions were mere political theatrics to temporarily placate the masses without any genuine intention of addressing the underlying issues. I would have thought that the Akwa Ibom people would want to know where their 108.1 billion naira is. It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, Sheriff.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And the 108 billion you're talking about is of what do you call it? Is of 2015. No, it's not the current.
I was gonna say that then and now.
It's
still a lot.
If
of money.
it was 108 billion before, how much? What do you think it would be?
It will be now. Exactly.
It will be about 200 and something billion.
Maybe more.
Why do we do this now? I'm not saying Akpabio is guilty, no, but it's even good for Akpabio that they should see to the end so that if he's not guilty, we will know where the money is. But what it means, like I always say, is that when it comes to cases like this, it means that the money is missing. But if it was an armed robber, a pickpocket in CMS now, he will be in jail. That is why I believe, like Fela said, authorities stealing past armed robbery. These authorities, well, we haven't said that. They have been investigated
they've not been convicted, yes. The funniest of all is the latest one about Yaya Bello, who EFCC cannot even arrest.
And is in town.
They can't even investigate. They can't even interrogate.
I was so disappointed. I saw one lawyer who is an APC. He's an APC stalwart. He's one of these very strong Tinubu boys. I've forgotten his name. He can argue sometimes in a very off-handed manner. We want to stand with the governor. We want to... Excuse me. This money has been compromised. I hope everybody has an eye, is keeping one of their eyes open and looking at what's going on in Kenya. What you are seeing in Kenya is a build-up of things like this. It has gone from the issue of a tax bill. It has gone beyond that now. And we should keep our eyes going. I don't believe that any set of human beings perpetually will allow themselves to be treated the way the political class is, perpetually, the way the political class is treating Nigerians. And if you just have an assumption that Nigerians will never react, I think the Kenyans who thought that the Kenyans would... Kenya has never been known to be a hot, they've never been known to be this. Right. But look at what is happening with every passing day. Like they say, a word is enough for the wise.
Yes, it is. You can watch us on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch and drop your comment for us. Let's come take your thought. Let's take this story here in the Guardian newspaper, page 5. The bottom corner of the page. Despite denials, Sokoto Assembly considers new bill against Sultan.
Okay, by the way, I want to do a shout out to my friends at the car park and the security men at Marigold Hospital, Solere, for you to know that I remembered you this morning. And thank you for what yes. I had a very good time with them yesterday. Oh, yes, I had a very good time. I got there, and all of a sudden, they all put on their phones. And to surprise, I didn't know that they knew me. They put on their phones and listened to the program on YouTube. That cannot be you, that. There is a new thing that is going on. It started quietly in the south and it's gone up north. The political class are hell-bent on having their own traditional rulers in power anytime they are themselves in power so that they can have total control. It happened in the southwest here. What they did to undermine the power of these traditional rulers is that we woke up one day and discovered that so many kingdoms that are unidentifiable have been created, and every other top elite you see has become an Oba. Yes. You hear Oba Olele, he says Oba of something, you don't even know where the town is. And they've upgraded, and of course, I don't need to. We'll talk about the politics of Obaship in the West and how, if care is not taken, it will bring down the whole of that region. I hear one of the Obas now, he has a gold carriage. After the era of Rolls Royce, one of them now has a gold carriage. I wish him well. The one that left his country to go all the way to South Africa to denigrate the religion of his people, I wish him well. You are the custodian of your cultural practices and religion. You have an option not to take up that position. But you went to another man's, you see, Africans, I don't know. You went to another man's country to denigrate the religion of your own people. But that's the story for another day. What is happening now is that the Sokoto assembly, like I think to some extent happened in Kano, want to take away the authority of the Sultan and give it to the governor. And they want to do it quietly by passing the law in the House of Assembly. It is a dangerous move. It is a very, very dangerous move because they might succeed in the short run, but there's a crisis coming in the long run. So what does that mean? Part of the rumors going around is that in the case of Sokoto, it is believed that the Sultan is a PDP supporter. The rest, you now know what I'm talking about. The one in Kano too has to do with, Ganduje was APC in the governor. Now they have DPP or whatever it is, and they now give themselves these authorities. And like I said, it is also happening in the Southwest. I don't know much about what is going on in that area in the East, but I do know that you've had one or two scuffles. You will hear things like, the traditional ruler has been queried because he's not showing loyalty to the governor. Who should be showing loyalty to who? But the sad thing about all this is that people who are most affected will just keep quiet and grumble on the ground and allow their cultural practices and whatever to be eroded bit by bit until we become a people without an identity. Leave the traditional things to the traditional people. If you want a new Oba comes up, leave it to the kingmakers and whatever. Leave it to that politics at that level. But no. And there's some traditional cases now that are in court. Some have been in court for close to 13, 14 years. Where in some cases it is the governor that almost unilaterally appointed the Oba. But that's a story for another day. But it is something that is brewing. It shows that politicians are unrelenting in putting all of us under state capture.
Tony on Facebook says, Uncle JD, Nigerians can never react. They have been bound to the Philistine. Nigerians are completely divided and resigned to faith. I had no experience in public. To my surprise, I was shocked Niger people are completely docile and gullible.
Well, yes, I like your optimism, and I wish I could identify with it. But I know that human nature has a limit. It has a limit.
Human endurance.
I don't know if he's raised children before. There are sometimes you cane your own child up to a point, a child of maybe 11, he will turn around to face you. Yes, we've seen incidents like that. A normal docile child, but you cane him out of so much anger, he will turn around to face you. The human element in man, everybody has a limit. The elasticity might be different, might vary from person to person. But Tobaja, if he caught, if you think that with the way things are going, if you don't put in certain corrections, Nigerians will not react, then there must be something wrong with your thinking process. Because even your most docile dog, if you there's a limit to which you can push it. Like ethnic people say, I hope I say it right now. Intricate, we shall see.
Talking about that, Oluwatobi on Facebook says, Uncle JD, please, what can Nigerians do to right these wrongs done by our political class?
I laugh in Chinese. Jinglong ling long ling.
Oh my God.
When the jungle matures, you will know what to do.
What's that language again?
Chinese. I laugh in Chinese. Jinglong ling long ling. I should tell you what.
Okay.
But I want to add something. There was a story that escapes the papers, I think on Monday or so, where it was said that even members of the armed forces are now asking for increase in salary. I think it was hidden somewhere in the Guardian. I saw it and I smiled. I also remember that it was said that some policemen went to protest about their salaries and things like that. Yeah. I also smiled. So let us wait and see.
Okay. We're going to head now to the news page of the Guardian newspaper.
All right. Governor Sanwo-Olu says that stop paying lip service to water provision, and he tells stakeholders, is the Lagos State government not a stakeholder in providing water?
Who is he referring? No, okay.
He says here now, it says, Babajide Sanwo-Olu yesterday, all stakeholders in... by the way, happy birthday, sir. He was 59 yesterday.
Oh.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
And he was, I'm glad to say he was sober, not that the other megalomaniac who was all over the place. Yesterday, all stakeholders in the water resources sector to stop paying lip service, to invest appropriately in providing water for the residents. Excuse me. Government has the primary responsibility, isn't that?
Very true.
So who was he talking to?
Stakeholders.
Okay. Go and buy the paper, you'll see. Southwest Group begins campaign for creation of Yoruba Obas Forum. Okay. That's a loaded news item, but I'll leave you to analyze it yourself. Lagos court sentences security guard to life jail for defiling minor in church. In church premises.
Yeah.
NUJ declares hardship, tax government on solutions. NDLEA seizes, convicts 201. Seizes illicit drugs in Delta States. Unlike Bobrisky, Cubana chief priest forfeits 10 million to federal government in settlement deal. That's spraying, whatever. It is important that you know that even though the cases are similar, it's handled by different judges. So don't bring any insinuation. Okay. What the lesson I learned from Bobrisky's cases, before my lawyer would tell me to plead guilty, I must have a written undertaking from the judge or something concrete. Because I think that my feel is that if he had known that he would go to jail, he wouldn't have pleaded guilty. What Cubana did was he asked for a deal. He struck a deal with the government, and then he was fined 10 million.
10 million.
Yes, that is the one that we saw in the public. We don't know whether there was any other fine that you and I do not know about. Businessman declares plot to demolish house to relocate land to minister in Enugu. Okay, Rivers community protests neglect of train 7 projects. Police snap suspected ritualist with human skull. In Isala Itoko area of Abeokuta. They caught him at about 3:05 a.m. with a human skull. Pa Udemaguna is going to be buried on the 2nd of August, and that's about what we have in the news.
Now, let's take this story here on page 12 of the Trust. Akpabio, I never said Senate will buy new aircraft for Tinubu Shatima.
If you missed our program yesterday, Daily Digest, please go to YouTube. I had two members of the Aviation Roundtable. They dissected the issue of this, and 1 week after Akpabio was quoted to have said that the Senate would approve the new aircraft for the president, Akpabio has denied, which is constant. He always denies after the fact. I'm not saying whether he said it or not, but he issued a statement on Tuesday, and he said the report is from propagandists and fifth columnists, and he said the Senate was focused on delivering legislation that would support the actualization of the president's renewed hope agenda. Let me quote Akpabio. It says, I want to dispel the rumor that you are hearing that the Senate president said he will buy a new plane for the president and vice president, irrespective of the fact that Nigerians are hungry. I never said that. I was actually in Zanzibar, in Tanzania. It is the handiwork of propagandists and fifth columnists who never see anything good in what we are doing. Be rest assured, pray for the government, have patience, and be assured that the combination of Tinubu and Shatima will bring wealth and prosperity to all. That is from your Senate president. So where is the balance in governance? But that's a story for another day. In any case, what we hear is a proof that the planes have been put up for auction. So, of course, whether you like it or not, the new planes are going to be bought. But go and listen to the program yesterday. And you will get a sense of all that.
We must go now. We have to go.
Yes,
9 o'clock is there for me.
Yes, it's them. Uchuko is coming.
Oh, brilliant. Lagos, stay here with us. Is back to Kofi Battels on the Morning Crossfire. And thank you for tuning in. And please stay tuned to Nigeria Info 99.3.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.